Have you ever seen those eerie, swirling trails curling off the wings of a jet and thought, what is that? Believe it or not, every airplane generates a pair of invisible, spiraling mini tornadoes when it flies. These are called wingtip vortices, and they're not just visual quirks, they influence drag, fuel efficiency, and even the safety of other aircraft. Today I'm diving deep into the science, the danger, and the elegant solutions engineers use to tame them. To understand wingtip vortices, we first need to understand lift. An airplane wing is shaped to create lower air pressure on top and higher pressure underneath. This pressure difference is what lifts the aircraft into the air, but nature hates a pressure imbalance. So the high-pressure air from beneath the wing tries to sneak around the wingtip to get to the low-pressure area on top. In doing so, it spirals and swirls off the edge of the wing, creating a tight, horizontal tornado, a wingtip vortex. Think of it like a paddle moving through water. As it moves forward, it leaves swirling eddies behind. Air behaves similarly, forming vortices that spiral away from each wingtip as the plane flies forward. In humid air, these vortices can actually become visible as condensation trails spiraling off the wingtips. But most of the time, they're completely invisible, and still very much there. These wingtip vortices come with a cost-induced drag. As air spirals off the wingtips, it shifts some of the wing's lift backwards, effectively pulling the plane back and down. That's induced drag, and it's one of the biggest aerodynamic penalties a plane faces, especially during takeoff and landing. More drag means more fuel burned to keep the plane at cruising speed. It's an invisible tug-of-war between lift and resistance. Reducing induced drag even slightly can make a big difference in fuel savings, flight range, and emissions. Think of it like swimming through water with a wake trailing behind you. The more turbulent the wake, the harder you have to work to keep moving. But vortices don't just affect the plane creating them, they pose a real threat to other aircraft flying behind. Wingtip vortices can persist in the air for minutes, stretching out in a wide, invisible wake behind the plane. If a smaller aircraft enters this disturbed air, it can experience sudden rolling or yawing, sometimes strong enough to flip it out of control. That's called wake turbulence, and it's a major hazard during takeoff and landing when aircraft are close together. This is why air traffic control enforces strict separation between planes, especially between large jets and smaller aircraft. It's not just about spacing on the runway, it's about letting those invisible air spirals dissipate before another aircraft flies into them. Aviation engineers knew they couldn't eliminate wingtip vortices, but they could weaken them. One elegant solution is the winglet, a vertical extension at the tip of the wing. Winglets reduce the strength of vortices by disrupting the airflow that wants to spiral off the edge. In some designs, winglets even generate a small amount of additional lift, helping to counteract induced drag. There are a few types of vortex-reducing designs: classic winglets, vertical fins that block or redirect airflow at the wingtip; blended winglets, smooth, curved extensions that reduce interference drag; raked wingtips, extended and swept tips, like on the Boeing 787, that spread the vortex formation over a longer span; wingtip fences, double-surface fins that split the vortex into smaller, less intense spirals. These designs don't just improve performance, they save millions in fuel and reduce emissions. That's why most modern airliners now include some form of wingtip device. Wingtip vortices are a stunning example of physics in motion, invisible forces that shape the flight of every airplane in the sky. From affecting drag and fuel efficiency, to creating turbulence that can shake another plane out of the air, their impact is huge.